but Yeager calls out Aaron and says, or Mr. Kruger, if you're truly healthy, you should go back to your family. Someday you won't see them anymore. Don't wait and live with regret.
And it's funny because that's what he's doing. Yeah. Technically, he could be healthy, but his mind is broken because he's living with regret. So it's almost like he's talking about himself too. Like, go back to your family.
In my mind, there is no way this isn't like intentional from Aaron to be sitting with his relative right now. Like,
well, he was originally sitting on the bench.
I know, but I think he's at the facility and somehow knows that a relative's there because, like, what, plot convenience?
Well, I'm sure he would have known. I'm sure he would have known eventually after hearing the name that that's who this guy was.
Yeah. That day my son took my daughter outside the walls. It's because I was too strict about him becoming a doctor. Do you think Aaron has the power to transmit Grisha's memory of or thought of dogs around Faye into the grandfather and is fucking torturing him right now? Like, look at the looks that Aaron's like looking at him with. Ready?
So you're saying, is Aaron using his founding titan power basically to implant memories into this old man's head to have him do like a psychotic break?
For fun. Like, let's think about it like that. Yeah? Like, cause like okay. Not gonna lie, coming back a day later and rewatching a scene is definitely a little bit like helpful in a sense because it makes you how weird something could be, or it could make you read into something completely wrong. But this gives me way weirder feelings rewatching it this time around than watching it live. And you just see somebody in the background banging their head against the cement wall. You see, I'm going to back it up a couple more seconds so I can add the dialogue, like the audio to it too. Because it's such an eerie scene. And you can see Yeager start to break more and more and more, where at the start of the conversation, he was very well composed. But obviously you can make the argument that it's Yeager's like just memory and bringing it up, you know? But the way that it played out, like...
It was just, it was a very, I didn't think I would ever get it kind of scene. I was surprised that he blamed himself at all.
Look how Aaron's looking at him. It's very bizarre, right?
Yeah.
Like...
I actually believed he was truly a doctor there at the beginning until the screaming. And then once he started screaming, I was like, he's a patient!
So my question for you is, what's the last one?
What's the last one? What do you mean?
Watch. What's the last one?
The last one is all of them when the body was identified.
Who's all of them?
Grisha and his parents.
So what's the first one?
Just the dogs eating the girl.
So, of it happening.
Yes.
How did we see it happening?
All we saw was almost like we were the perspective point of view of Faye. Grisha wasn't there.
I know.
No one was there. Except for the Marleyans that were doing that to Faye.
I think
this is all just, dramatic.
I know.
This isn't like what we've truly seen or what our characters have seen themselves.
Grisha saw it when he was being told of the truth that happened. Whether that was not him actually seeing it or being able to visualize it.
I think it was us being shown it.
We saw a visual.
Yes.
This is the same visual.
No.
Yes.
This is not the same visual. This visual we saw was Faye on the ground, and then the three guys with the dogs, and then the father. I'm
not saying you could take this frame and replace it into when Grisha saw it. I'm saying it's of the same event that's happening.
Yes.
Dogs are eating Faye right now. Mm-hmm. And Grisha was shown that, or thought of that, once Kruger told him that it happened, correct?
Well, he already knew it happened because he saw Faye's
I know,
body.
But follow the train of thought, okay? Okay. Try to. I know I'm crazy. We did see Grisha on top of the wall with Kruger being told the truth of what happened to his sister. That happened.
Well, he was basically given the yes, what you believe happened to Faye truly is the way that it happened.
Correct. And with that, accompanied an image of Faye being eaten by dogs. Mm-hmm. Correct. That memory of all of that happening, with the image included of Faye being eaten, was shown to us through Aaron experiencing it, that memory, and seeing his father's past. What we saw from everything about Grisha's life, Eren saw, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if Eren saw that and is staring at his grandfather, who is beginning to recount that situation, and we have an image that is shown multiple times through this conversation after he's identified himself as Mr. Kruger, who is the person who told Grisha about it in the first place. And then we see the dogs around the body of Faye while Eren is looking at him with a very bitchy face. And then it flashes to what I believe to be him, maybe his wife, and Grisha looking at the scene of the crime. Eren's face is expressionless to the point of me thinking that he knows this happened, because we saw him know it happened.
He did know that it happened.
And he is bringing that up within his grandfather. Why would his grandfather feel this bad about it? He never,
because
just guilt?
He's lived all of his years knowing that not only did his daughter die, but now his son is dead.
How do you think Eren...
He's traumatized. He's gone mental because of all of the stuff that's happened to him, and he feels like he didn't protect his children.
Yeah.
Of course he's gone crazy.
But you're thinking he's like a normal person. With a healthy mindset.
No, I'm saying he's a person that went crazy. That's not a healthy mindset. He's a person that feels like they didn't properly protect their own kids.
Which
and
is true.
Blaming themselves.
Which is true.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's not him being a normal, healthy-minded person.
Yes.
If you are traumatized, you will see images within your head of your trauma repeatedly, whether some person with Titan powers is making you think that or not.
You're right.
It is not a surprise to me that
isn't
Mr. Jaeger is able to see these things.
That isn't the argument that I'm making, because you're right. People who are traumatic have images of the trauma that they experienced, and that is 100% correct. What I'm saying is that the person who ended up doing these awful things that I think both of us can agree with, be awful things that he did and now is regretting, after the fact of him doing them, every time we saw him was anything but regret. Zeke turned his own parents in and then presumably lived a very happy life with this man. Mm-hmm. What changed of him coming out of his, what you're, I think, alluding to is that there was off-screen character development of Jaeger that led him to realize the mistakes that he made. What inside of this effed up world of Eldia that we live in could have given him the perspective shift that would do this much to change his mind when he's been completely engrossed in this world his entire life and has never known anything different?
Because it's performance. The mother was crying. The father was not. It was all performance in this steadfast, we have to speak kind of Marley and we need to believe this. All of them are trying so hard to act and believe these things to protect their families.
I know a lot of them are.
He didn't protect either of his kids.
Yeah.
Both of them died.
Yes.
It is not a shock at all that he ended up in the position he's in.
I'm not saying it is. I'm not trying to convince you it is. Because you're right. I'm saying Eren is thinking like you are, and you are trying to make this person who has only ever thought different, or making this person who has only ever thought different, unclouding their judgment and realizing all the fucked up things they did for the first time in the world.
You think this is him realizing it for the first time ever?
No, but I think that Eren might be the reason that he's in there to begin with.
No, I think this guy was already crazy before Eren showed up. He already realized... I think that's a lot of power to give to Eren, that he was able to basically turn his grandfather insane by showing up without his grandfather knowing that was him.
Well, I agree, because I don't think just showing up would have done it. I don't know what would have done it, but can you at least give me that if there was some character development off screen that led him to this end, I would like to see the moment that broke him. Can we see that moment? Can you make that happen?
I mean, I can't make it happen. I don't know if they'd ever give it to it.
Would you want to see that?
Steady. It could have been slow. He's also elderly, so he could have some other issues that are going on with his health that could have brought about this kind of
Do you think that Zeke, what do you think Zeke's part in this is? Do you think that Zeke just comes around and visits his sick father who regrets doing, sick grandfather who regrets doing this?
Probably.
Yeah.
And I think that seeing this scene, what it's supposed to make us think about is, does this change any theories we have or any ideas of what Zeke's true intentions or motives are?
No, I think it does. And that's why I brought it up.
I think that's what this scene is for, is to make us start thinking again about Zeke and why he's doing what he's doing.
Well, I agree. I'm with you on that. I think that it does give you an image of, okay, Zeke is on has a different set of motives that we are unaware of, and
right.
and what we think aren't correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's interesting. And then next we get the candidates as servers.
Yeah, there's servers at the fancy banquet.
If you're like attending this banquet, right? Mm-hmm. You're one of the lucky many chosen.
A leader from a different nation.
Yeah. And is it like a terrifying privilege to be given to be able to just attend an event where the next candidates of the Titans are waiting on you hand and foot? Is it an intimidation thing? Obviously some people aren't too happy about or don't love all of these visitors who are visiting currently.
I think it's almost like having the candidates as servers at this event is basically just almost like Marley bowing and being like, see, look, the heroes of our tomorrow are waiting on your hand and foot, you know, to kind of, because I think Tiber's whole thing here is to avoid another war, and these are all other nations that they have fought with and or hate Eldians, hate the Titan power, have bones to pick with them. And I think using the candidates, the future successors of these powers, as basically like, look, they're your servants.
Yeah.
They are here to serve us, not to stand in the way of us elite.
Yeah. We saw like the first attempt at a speech being given was like, our enemies we made yesterday are enemies today. Sorry. Yeah. But
and like everyone looked so angry.
Here's a thought. What if any thought that Tiber's trying to kill all the Eldians and get all these people to agree with it and like be like that's what's best, and I'm my family's the only one who gets a power, but the power's just gonna go get knocked on, right? Or passed on.
Well, he can't just kill all of these Eldians.
Yeah.
Because he'd have to kill all of the ones in Paradis too.
Yeah. I think that's why I don't think that's the most likely thing.
It isn't the most likely theory for him to end up kind of being some form of villain. I don't really vibe with him being a villain at the moment.
Yeah.
I feel like he has potential motive, notoriety to be a villain, the money to be a villain, the power to be a villain, but I don't really get that feeling from him.
Any shot that he obviously throughout this episode, I saw his family and I was like, Annie's dad or Annie's family, right? Which I'm still thinking. Any shot this is the guy who is talking to Annie in the flashbacks?
This guy seems like he's in his 20s.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
He's in like he's in somewhere in his 20s. I think he's the head of the family, but I don't think he is the old enough to be Annie's
the one daughter. The similarities are pretty striking, no? For Annie?
Maybe.
Or maybe they're doing it just to mess with us?
I mean, like, Zofia looks a lot like Annie, too, and Zophia's not related to the Tibers.
But the nose.
Zofia has, like, Annie's whole face, just with, like, different color eyes.
Maybe I'm, like, too obsessed with hair. Yeah. Maybe.
If anything, when we first saw Zofia, I was like, I wonder if she's, like, an off-branch of Annie's family.
That could also be the case, though, no?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, we have Gabby and Reiner as an example. They're within the same family.
Yeah, Zofia does give me an Annie vibe as well. They also had the same haircut, Zofia and the girl who I thought was an Annie family member. Maybe Zofia's a secret, member of the
And if we're going
Tibers.
with nose, like, Udo has that same nose, too.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard when you're, like, trying to pick out, like, slight differences in color of hair, and obviously that's how we've operated up into this point, into guessing if people are related, because that's all we have is a lot of the visual and seeing if it fits contextually.
Yeah. Okay, on to the after credit. Just to like, what could what could Eren have told Falco to be like, go get Mr. Reiner and bring him over here?
Maybe he said he wanted to thank Reiner or something. Like, I would just really love to thank that guy because he's a soldier that was injured in this war, that just happened. And maybe he just really would love to thank Reiner. And maybe Falco's like, yeah, Reiner's awesome. Of course, like, I'm actually know him.
Okay,
and, like,
okay, so like with that narrative that you just started, let's play with that, right? So I am Falco and you're Eren and you're asking me to do this with your reason, right?
Yes.
Your fake reason.
Yes.
So give it to me. Give it to me.
Hello, I am Eren. And I don't want to go home to my family, but I want them to know that I'm okay. And so I have been having you, young child, mail secret letters for me. And I fought really hard, and yes, I'm not injured now, but I saw the horrific side of war, and the only thing that helped me feel at the end of the day like I could get home and I could be safe and alive, and that Marley would survive and keep being amazing as it is Reiner Braun, and how amazing Reiner Braun is, and I only wish that I could thank that man and shake his hand, and maybe if I met him and I got to touch him, I would then feel strong and brave myself, and I could go home and face my family and face the world again after seeing such horrific events.
Okay, why does it have to be in this moist, moldy, dark basement?
Well, I mean, it would probably be an embarrassment to Reiner of such high has such high standing. He's an honorary Marleyan. I think he would be embarrassed to meet with me, and I would be embarrassed to meet with him in the state that I'm in. I mean, look at me. I have my hair overgrown. I haven't shaved. I'm just a sad sack who isn't actually sick and hasn't left the hospital.
People typically don't put their chairs right in front of the door. It's unnerving when people walk in.
I just want to be ready. I want to see him as soon as he walks in. And I want to be able to greet him as soon as he walks in.
Like, it's a very bizarre, like, set of circumstances you're, like, asking of a kid to try to do.
Like, Falco's, like, so excited. Like, come on, I have a present for you, Reiner. Come on, follow me.
Like, he's thinking it's, like, some, like, 23andMe reveal.
Yeah, like honestly, he's like, this is good.
You guys are old war buddies.
But why would... Falco has this excitement about him that I don't know if could fully be explained by, he calls this man his friend, this man he's been mailing letters for, because he's been going to have nice talks with him. That excitement, is that purely just, I'm going to introduce Reiner to this friend of mine, or is it like,
this time,
excitement, like because it's not like Eren could have said anything to Falco that would make Falco believe that Reiner would want to meet this man.
Okay, this time I'm Eren and you're Falco. Hey, little man, I'm gonna convince you to do this for me without lying one time. Okay, Anna. Okay. Hello, little man. I spent years of my early life struggling and training through the military and was having a very tough time at it. But there was always some big brother-like figure to reach out a helping hand to help pick me up when I was down. And we fought together for years and trained together and went through so many hardships and losses together. I just want to see him one more time. Like, all of that's true.
You also got me in a place of, when you brought up this big brother character, I mean, that's another idea. Like, Eren could have spun this story of a big brother character who sacrificed their life in the war, protected Eren in the war, and that's why he's not truly injured, but that's why he doesn't want to go home, because he's going home without this person, this big brother character that sacrificed himself. And if Falco opened up and was like, I feel like Reiner Braun is like a big brother character to me, then that kind of like, you can meet the guy that I feel like has that same energy you're saying your friend that died did.
He told me all about how Berthold died and how bloody it was and awful. How the enemy just crushed him in teeth, like just to fuck with Reiner a little bit more. Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like crazy.
Falco's like really excited. Like he doesn't suspect anything. He thinks that this is like going to be a really fun time. He thinks that both Reiner and this friend are going to get something out of this.
Yeah.
He thinks they are all going to get something. He's also like, it's almost like Eren.
It's frantic.
It's like Eren just recently asked this of him. Like, where did Falco go? And now Falco's running to Reiner. Like,
well, like it's hard not. Oh, that's Armin.
The guy with the hat.
Yeah, that's Armin. Right?
Looks tall to be Armin. I mean, Armin could have grown. I mean, like, I'm so silly. Like, he was a 16-year-old boy. Like, they have growth spurts. So it could be Armin. A tall Armin.
How do I get
don't know
it?
How
Like,
I feel about that.
How do I... Funimation. Like, everything's still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not, like, going away off the screen unless you
what
click
if I
play.
put it into window thing and blow it? I don't know if it's...
Thing?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to show up on OBS, but...
It is. It's showing up on OBS.
Okay.
So there is a man's with somewhat of a blonde kind of chopped off haircut that fits Armin's signature style.
Maybe not. Maybe it is just a man, but I don't know. It could be at this point. We don't know.
We honestly don't know who's there. And like, I think you still think like it was Jean and Eren. They're the only ones I believe we've been given any evidence to suspect are there.
Why is it in the basement? Okay, so I got interrupted. My train of thought was interrupted by potentially seeing Armin there. But why are we in a basement? Other than the fact that it's funny to me, like right here and now.
It just seems so like Falco. Why did you think this was safe to lead this person into this?
Well, from
Eren's tunnel.
From Eren's point of view and potential objective here, which we don't know. What would be the reason that you're trying to get Reiner alone?
And underground.
We know it's a place that could be potentially easy to kill Titans in. That's what they tried to do with Annie in the end of season 1. Mm-hmm. We don't know how deep it is though. So it could be like a I'll take you out one-on-one here kind of thing, or an ambush. It could be because something's gonna go on outside.
I think that if you were going to meet with someone to have a talk with them, you'd want to meet on an equal playing field, especially if you're having like peace treaty talks or just wanting to have a conversation that doesn't involve fighting. You would meet in a place that puts both of you at a disadvantage. And this is that place, an underground room where if both of them turned into Titans, they wouldn't truly be able to fight each other because they are underground. So it is almost like just like a peace talk kind of thing. Like they will not be fighting in this scenario. They are just here to have a chat.
It's like doesn't it give you like a moment? It's like, it's been 4 years, Reiner. It's like you like graduated high school with like this friend, and then you ignored him and ghosted him all throughout college, and then meet like at a high school reunion after college, and it's just like this guy, like you walk into the cafeteria for a reunion, and it's just like this one dark, like greasy man who looks slightly like moist critical, and he's like, "It's been 4 years, Reiner. You haven't returned my calls." Interesting. So you and I are both under the assumption that Eren can just like snap his fingers and have another leg and an eye, right?
Oh, well, yeah, I think he could just start healing.
We've seen Reiner grow back a head. Oh, man. Look Falco's so hyped. He's so excited.
I did what you asked of me.
Yeah.
Mr. Kruger. Gosh.
So
here's the lesson, kids. Don't become friends with strangers that are adult men and or adult women. I think if you're a kid and there's a stranger and they are an adult, do not befriend them and do favors for them. Just don't do that.
A crazy thought to think.
What?
Eren only has 4 years left.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
His time is definitely decreasing.
It's interesting. What do you want to like leave the world with?
Also, isn't this kind of the perfect moment for Eren to do this last year of both Zeke and Reiner's life? Does he want to like it? Like that phrase, "It ends with us." Yeah. Maybe he wants whatever this is to be the end with the original players.
So is it going after him? Is it going after Reiner because he has a year left because he knows where the power is right now? Or is it going after Reiner because he has a year left and you don't want him to die in the comfort of his own life? Even though that he was literally about to kill himself. You know, like...
All I can think right now is that Eren just wants to talk. And I don't know if that means he's going to tell Reiner the plan, or... I mean, it could be that he's like, Reiner, this is what we're gonna do. All the players are already ready. You know, this is gonna happen. You can either let it happen, or you can fight it, and that's up to you.
I just imagine Reiner tackling Eren, and Falco being like, Mr. Braun, why are you tackling someone without a leg and an eye? You know?
Right. Is Falco going to exit for this talk? You know, are they gonna shut the door?
I don't know.
I don't think Falco is necessary. I don't know if he would necessarily be present for this. I don't think Reiner would want him present. I don't think Eren would necessarily want him present for a talk. I could see him maybe shutting the door and like listening in, maybe running back upstairs.
I hope that there's like the last time Eren and Reiner had a good talk was on a tree branch. You think there's any tree branches in there? Is a chair
but, like, it's probably
a tree
a
branch?
Good talk. I mean, technically it once was. So I think this
could
possibly
be
getting into a talk, like
a tree branch part
talk.
2.
Yeah, which I am for, because that episode blew me away by the fact that it was like an entire episode of just dialogue.
Yeah.
They didn't move. The scene did not change. The characters did not change. We were in the same place and we were just talking.
And we technically have a tree branch on hand.
Yeah, we have
a
dead tree branch.
But I don't know.
One that has been given new life as a chair for people's butts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm excited. See where it goes.
Gosh, Zeke, do you not have like a radar inside your body being like, I feel like a family member's around here?
Start like thinking about closing this discussion off is a little anxiety inducing because I'm unnerved. I think that bad's coming. You know, I just have a pit in my stomach that it's not gonna be easy to consume next couple episodes.
I don't know if I feel the same. I think I feel different about like, mine doesn't feel like a doom feeling. It feels like Eren's got you, you mice. You're in his trap.
I don't know how I feel about Eren. It's been 4 years.
Oh, so you don't know, like, is that technically even a good thing if you don't know if you're on the side of Eren anymore because you don't know who he is anymore?
I don't know what his intention is. Is his intention to ruin Gabby and... it sucks because, like, Gabby and Falco, sure, if you break it out and look at it from like an eagle-eyed view, it's a fucked up situation for the Eldians to be in and they shouldn't be in it. That being said, Falco right now just confessed his love to a girl. He's doing better in like these like activities. I don't want Falco to die,
we're
you know?
them as like a reverse Mikasa Eren. Like Gabby and Mikasa, both the stronger one, but the reverse is the crush. Like Mikasa loves Eren, and then Falco loves Gabby. So, like, we have, like, a slight reversal there.
I am easier to forgive a child for
their wrongdoings?
For their wrongdoings because of the environment they were raised in.
Well, that's why it was so easy for us to love Reiner and Bertholdt.
Yeah. I don't want anything bad to happen to Falco and his gang and Gabby.
I don't feel like anything bad is going to happen to Falco, necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he's gonna die. Gabby, we've talked about how we feel like the only way for Falco to inherit and be the successor of the Armored Titan would be either something happens to Gabby that is bad, or right place, right time. You know, like, this is the chance. Reiner's about to die. Right place, right time.
I think this is it, though. I think that, 4 episodes in, I think we're done with not seeing our characters anymore. I think that if that was Armin, we're going to know next episode. If that was Jean, we're probably going to know next episode.
Yeah, and, like, Reiner's mom will know because she's going to look out the window, like, during this festival, and she's just going to see a lady walking down the street with a potato, eating it.
That's what gives it away.
And she's going to be like, oh! And like faint, and then all of the scouts just jump off the roofs. There we go. That's the like moment where people are gonna realize stuff's about to happen.
I like it.
Yeah.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.
Or right place, right time. Or right place, right time. or right place, right time.
Or right place, right time.